Okay, part four. Part four, and then maybe we can finish up the back of this box. It's been, again, more days since I've been able to do this. I don't remember exactly where we had left off. I just remember talking about the weird Jimmy Neutron stub kid. Is there something that we had done? Oh, I think we were supposed to try and find the last letter or something. I can't remember. Oh, right. I remember now. Okay, so the last thing that I wanted to talk about was these two children here, and, I'm doing this in the dining room, so slightly different area. But so these children here fixing fixing a bike. I don't know if it's their bike or whoever. I don't know which one of these children owns this bike, but this kid here is using a wrench and some sort of. It looks sort of like a stapler, like a wrench and a stapler. I guess it's just like well, you want to pop the tire and then you want to repair it because you have nothing better to do. I don't know why you're using a wrench on the tire. It seems like that would be more useful for the little pieces over here. And you're also wearing cow pants. Oh no, they're Fruit Loops. Oh, I thought they were like black and white. Okay, my mistake. So, yeah, so while this child is fixing the bike, this child is building a paper airplane. Can you see that? Oh, it's a little hard to see. Come on, camera, you can focus. There we go. See, look at that. She's just building a paper airplane. Is this your bike, or is this your friend's bike? Why are you not helping, and why are you just standing next to this child while building a paper airplane? This seems like it's not the best option for you to do at the moment. And I believe that's the last person and thing to talk about on this box. It has been a long adventure. It's been almost like an hour of talking about this box. It wouldn't be a full box review if I didn't review the front cover. As time goes by, Toucan Sam becomes much more realistic looking. So you can actually see the tiny feathers up on top here, which, wow. You can see the little feather quills. It's a little bit blurred up on the top here. So it's not like very crisp. So the way that it looks a little bit blurred there, that is actually how it looks on the box. And then Toucan Sam's beak just looks sort of normal on the black spot. But when you look over here, you can see like the tiniest little bits of the rim, like the little nubby. Not nubby. When it changes color, it looks a bit more like it's a natural color change. I don't know how to describe it, but it looks weird that it's slightly more realistic looking. Again, you can't really see it. Even without having it in the bag, it's really difficult to see. But it's so weird that it's slightly more realistic. And his eye looks, like an eye. The top of his head looks very freaky. It looks almost like one of those zoomed-in pictures of a bacteria. Let's see if it can focus on it. Come on, camera. There we are. Yeah, so this is professional photoshopping of 2D characters into 3D, except somebody got paid for this. His tail feathers look kind of cool, because they're also the little they're also like the little feathers up on top, but they're, again, more realistic. I don't know, the bottom feathers seem a little bit more interesting than the top feathers. And his human hands, this is weird. He has human arms. You don't really question this as much when it's less humanoid, but yeah, that's kind of freaky. And you can just look and see all of the fur on him. I mean, they're probably feathers, but it looks more like it's fur. It's so weird, but also impressive. And then his feet are just cartoon. They don't look realistic at all. Unlike this part of his beak looks realistic. This part, and then, yeah, that part looks cartoony. His tongue looks cartoony. Very important. I saw a display of, like, Crayola crayons that were very realistic, and they had realistic-looking tongues that were really disgusting. So at least Toucan Sam here, having a cartoonish tongue, that's much better. And the feet just look like a matte painting. It looks weird compared to the photorealistic body, but still. And then, of course, you have realistic Toucan Sam next to the actual pictures of the Fruit Loops, which are floating. floating milk here as well. Man, wasn't it impressive that they got an action shot of this? Ooh. And you can actually see, I like on the side here that it slightly rides against the Fruit Loop there. This is something where it looks like, oh, and the milk here. The milk on this spot right here, darn it, it really doesn't show up on camera, but it really looks like it's not milk but glue, because they use glue as in place of the milk because it's white and it looks like it fits here. This is like, okay, well, I guess you could argue that it's glue. This does not look like how milk works right here. Oh, there we go. You can see it a bit easier at a distance. Yeah, you can't see it zoomed, but right there, that lump right there, it really looks like it's glue instead of milk, which I think is very interesting. So, oh, and you can also tell that I imagine that this bowl is very packed full of the cereal, but usually it would kind of float a bit, if it's at this consistency and not soaked up with milk. Because it looks like it's sunk to the bottom here, like it was placed in the bowl, milk was poured over it, and it just got frozen in place. It looks a little bit weird that way. So this one, if you showed somebody this picture and said, hey, they use glue instead of milk for taking these pictures, this is something where you'd be like, oh, okay, I can kind of see that. Which I think is interesting. Of course, there's natural fruit flavors. Not natural fruit, just natural fruit flavors. That's reassuring. And then, of course, there's the simple inside. Excellent source of vitamin C. No high fructose corn syrup, which actually, those are two good things in to note on the top of the box, but that does not mean that the cereal is very healthy. Let's see. The ingredients. Corn flour blend. Whole grain yellow corn flour. Degerminated yellow corn flour. Yikes. Sugar, wheat. Oh, sugar is the second ingredient. Wheat flour, whole grain oat flour, modified food starch, contains 2% or less of hydrogenated vegetable oil, yada yada yada. Lots of coloring dyes. Vitamins and minerals. Vitamin C, niacinamide, reduced iron, zinc oxide, vitamin B6, peroxine hydrochloride, yikes. Oh, of course, our friend riboflavin, vitamin B1, vitamin A palmitate, folic acid, B12, and vitamin D3. D3 is like the convention that Disney holds, which is like E3, but for all things Disney. And then, yes, I am wearing the eyes, but I'm not showing it very well. As we had seen on the front of the box here, his beak does loop around, which I think is really neat. Our best in every bite. That's nice. Made with grains as first ingredient. Oh my gosh. You're advertising that. Grains are your first ingredient. Well, you know what your second ingredient is? Sugar. You don't want to advertise that now, do you? Sugar is our second ingredient, meaning that we use it almost as much. You know, technically, grain can become the first ingredient with just the slightest bit more of a percent than the other ingredients. So, don't go advertising that box, okay? They were struggling so much to try and figure out something healthy to say about the cereal. They say that they don't add high fructose corn syrup, there's some vitamin C in it, and that grains are the first ingredient. Yeah, grains are the first ingredient in a lot of grain-based products. And then they have all of the Fruit Loops not quite stacked, they're just kind of like falling on top of each other. I don't understand how this is supposed to work physics-wise, because this is just going to fall over and then the whole thing is going to topple over. How could you even stack it at this point? This is a very odd tower. Anyway, so that's my hour-long review of this one box of cereal. Not even talking about the cereal. Well, we did talk about the cereal technically in terms of its nutrients. I am exhausted with this, but I hope you guys had a fun time going through this insanely long review. But I believe it's that time again, friends. If you like what I do, don't be shy to give a thumbs up. Have a pleasant day, everyone. And this is Handington awkwardly signing off. Yay, I was able to do it. Bye!